Welcome to 44 and 1, Tempest, GVizzle, like, subscribe, blah, blah. It's never going to feel comfortable. It's never going to feel comfortable. But today, speaking of uncomfortable conversations, we are going to talk about Andrew Tatertots.
Little Taties.
Little Taties with his Twitter exchange. So for anyone who doesn't know, Andrew Tate sent a message to Greta Thunberg. I have 33 cars. My Bugatti, blah, blah, blah. My 2 Ferrari 812, blah, blah, blah. This is just the start. Please provide your email address so I can send a complete list of my car collection and their respective enormous emissions with one of the most posed photos I have ever seen of him pumping his own gas. So she responds, thank you for confirming, or no, sorry. She responds, yes, please do enlighten me. Email me at smalldickenergy@getalife.com. He responds like 12 hours later with a fully produced video of him waiting for pizza in a bizarre smoking jacket, makes a video response, and then essentially says, I know you are, but what am I? Thank you for confirming via your address that you have a small penis. The world was curious, and I do agree you should get a life. I don't know. I haven't followed it since, so I don't know if Greta then doubled down with a takes one to no one defense. But
apparently, she just ignored it.
And that's how she should have done. Like, did he just learn who she is? Is that why he's come out swinging?
Nah, I think he was just trying to go for low-hanging fruit and failed.
But
I've kind of gone. I've had so many mixed emotions and opinions on this.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah, just in the sense that there were so many other things that she could have said about him than to go for the small dick energy thing. I think it was a bit crass and a bit sort of ad hominem. But
it was fitting though, because of the whole like, look at all my cars. Like it was kind of fitting in that retort.
But she could. There's better ways of saying it. And could you imagine if like a bloke had said something about her? And like the depths of a vagina or something.
Well, men have said there was a famous
but that doesn't make it right. Just because other men have said it doesn't make it right.
It's not like men haven't done it, right? Like you're saying, imagine. No. We don't need to imagine. It's happened, right? Like men were like, oh, if she could speak at the UN, I should be able to fuck her. Like if she's 16. Like people have said some really shitty things.
So why is it okay then for her to say it? Like, why is it okay for her to make what is essentially a misogynistic comment about a guy's genitalia, when there were so many other cleverer ways she could have got a point across?
Let's also remember she's a teenager.
Yeah. Well, right? Kind of. She's 19, so she's not...
It's still a teenager.
She's leaving that behind, but...
Yes, but she's still a teenager. This is a grown man coming out and attacking a teenager. And a teenager is going to respond in a teenage way, regardless of everything she's accomplished. She's still a teenager at the end of the day. And this guy is essentially throwing his penis out with, look at my crotch rockets. Yeah. So she called him out on his crotch rockets.
I don't know though, like it's because there are guys out there with small penises, and then like everything about those kind of comments is that it is unacceptable for a man to sexualize a woman like that and to say things about her genitalia. Quite rightly, it's unacceptable, but we can still go for guys' small dick energy, and I just find that a bit for somebody of Greta's intellect and ability. It was pointless of her to do it. Like she might as well have not said anything.
But I think she was speaking to her audience, right? She gets him where, like, what are you going to say to Andrew Tate that's going to knock him down a peg or hurt him, right? You get him where it hurts, which is everything he does is like, look at how much of a manly man I am. So if you attack that manhood, maybe it's not right, but that's how you get him. And it worked, obviously, because 12 hours later, he's wearing a smoking jacket.
This is my point, though. Like, this is my point about what we've got to separate here. In that, like, initially, I was like, yeah, this is brilliant because Greta's taken Tate's down a notch. I can't stand the bloke. But then when I started thinking about it a bit more, that like, okay, if there was any 2 other people in any other situation, how would I then feel about it? Like if I get rid of my emotion from this situation, if I discount who's speaking to who is saying what to whom, get rid of all of that at the basic level, one person is insulting another person's genitalia. Is that acceptable? And the answer is always no.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. I think with the Yeah, I think it always comes down, like it comes down in this case to what would have got him. And that I think is the only way. She was trying to put a thorn in his side, and I think that was the way to do it for him in particular.
I think there's three ways of getting at Tate. One is his sexuality, like, you know, small dick energy type stuff. That is one way of doing it. I think there are cleverer ways of doing it than just saying small dick. The other way is to go to his physique and his looks and his muscles, his lack of hair. I mean, you know, like you shouldn't attack people for their appearance, but like in terms of his physicality and how he expresses it, that's one thing. And another thing is his intellect. He's very sensitive about his intellect.
Is he?
Yeah. You could really take him down a peg with that. And like all she had to do was think about it, say something really clever and incisive, and just go for that fucking sniper shot to the head.
So what leads you to believe, because I haven't, I guess, watched enough of his videos, what leads you to believe that he's sensitive about his intellect?
Because these are the three things that, like, in all of his videos and all of his stuff he's bragging about, is always those things. It's how many women he's fucking, how many cars he's got, how good he is at kickboxing, and he's always talking about how clever he is. Like, some of the stuff that he says, Trump could have said it. Like, you know, when Trump goes, I have all the words, I have the best words, I'm a genius, all that kind of stuff. Tate says very similar things. He's talking about how he says he's a grandmaster at chess. He fucking isn't. His dad was a grandmaster at chess. And because his dad taught him to play chess, he then tells people that he's a grandmaster at chess. And it's like, and he says, like, he's always saying, like, you know, don't read books. Reading books is a waste of time. Go live your life, that sort of shit. So he's very insecure about his intellect.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I just think that, like, somebody of Greta's intellect and ability, I feel this was quite a low blow for her, that, like, she could have done a better job. Because I have a lot of respect for her as an academic and a thinker. I don't agree with her politics so much, but I have a lot of respect for her as a human being, if that makes sense.
I think it gave me that, like, I don't have time for you type of energy. So she just
like, yeah. Totally.
Yeah. She just wanted to get rid of him. And and then he got his production team involved for
which is so funny. So
honestly,
I think
the smoking jacket, the like dark room, this looks like when like Kentucky Fried Chicken was making those like really elaborate, I don't know if you've seen them, they had these really elaborate commercials with different people playing the Colonel, because the Colonel has since passed. This is kind of the energy I'm getting from that.
Like, I think I think Greta came off less bad than he did, and he definitely did come off worse. Like, his whole reaction to it, like, you poked a fucking teenager, and like in a really kind of pathetic way. Like, why did you even do it? There was no reason. It just came out of nowhere, out
of the blue, right? Like,
yeah.
I'm convinced he just learned who she was.
No, he's been
like 3 years later, would he be like pumping gas at a gas station, be like, oh, take a picture, we'll send this to Greta, she'll love this. Like, who does that?
Him. He's that pathetic. This is why I don't like him. Like, as a person, I don't have much respect for him. Like, I have respect for him in a sense of being a successful person, but it stops there. I don't think he has much honor. He doesn't have any sense of duty.
He's a respectful person, but he's not we've had that conversation about good and bad people. Like, he's not a good person.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he essentially tried to make a man beg for his financial help on Twitter to save his child. Like, that's what terrible people do.
Yeah, exactly. And then he's been on and off about Greta for fucking years.
Has he?
Yeah, he always comes up with something about it. And like, I think she lives in his head rent free.
Because, for sure. Why does he care so much?
I know, I don't get it. I really don't get it. And I think on the balance as well of, like, you know, who's the biggest dickhead here? I think it's him, like, for being like a fucking child.
Attacking essentially a child. Like, she's 19. And then, like, some people in comment threads that I've seen today, they're like, well, what has she accomplished? It's like, well, aside from being nominated for 2 Nobel Peace Prizes and starting her own organization, Fridays, something Fridays, and being like Times Person of the Year, she's also 19, right? Like, she's got a full life to make significant accomplishments. And then, what has she accomplished?
Yeah. What did
You're
any of us
43.
accomplish?
What have you?
What did we accomplish by the time we were 19? Jesus Christ! I was doing an apprenticeship in mechanical engineering.
I was taking a year off between high school and college.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think Greta has earned respect off of people, like whether you agree with her politics or not, or her activism or not, which, as I've said before, I don't, but I still respect her as a human fucking being and as an intellectual person.
What do you disagree with?
I just like she's a bit gung ho about the whole thing and a bit sort of overly dedicated. It's all part of that activist mindset that I talk about. That the kind
So
of
her
changes.
enthusiasm is what you don't like?
No. It's just that she doesn't have the solutions that she has for the problems. I think are a bit over the top. I think they're unrealistic, and they're not achievable. And I don't think that that the kind of things that the governments are doing about what she's saying, I don't think it's going to do any of us any good. I don't think economically they're going to work. And also some of her solutions are going to cause problems in and of themselves. So this is just a summary of it. Like I don't have time to go into the detail, but essentially, like, to make, say, green energy, you need to go mining, you need to cut trees down, you need to like mine for rare minerals and metals. And then what happens with all of those, like once you've built the wind farm, but it needs replacing and you have to replace the fins, what happens to the old fucking fins? At the moment, they just get buried and then just left to rot under the ground. That's not sustainable. So like,
you got to find a way to be able to recycle those into something else. There's
yeah,
got to be something you can do.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, is that everything on the planet, like to do with humans, has to evolve over time. It has to have chance to develop and see fruition. But what Greta's trying to push, and the enthusiasm with which she pushes it, it doesn't leave much space for nuanced thinking and a nuanced approach. And so you got to try and find a balance with moving things forward. And I think that's what's lacking in her approach.
But aren't they, though? It's not like they're taking everything she's saying and just executing it, right? Like that's a starting point to work with. And then you get the other great minds working on it.
No, but we're talking about her and her approach, her perspective, what she wants to see happen. And what is actually achievable in reality are two different things. And then that's the problem when like you get overly invested in something and you become an activist, then like nuance and reason starts to fall by the wayside and you start to lose that nuanced thinking, I think. But I mean, it's just an opinion. I'm not a fucking climate scientist, so I think there is
you just have a boner for activisms.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. But it's just that like so essentially like we have to change things. I don't disagree with that. I think, and the climate is changing and it's not changing for the better, and we need to work on that. But when you've got countries like China and India who are just putting out all these emissions, who the fuck cares what we do? Like, it's not going to have an effect if they're not doing it too. So
it's like the companies that try to make people feel culpable for it, like telling individuals how to reduce their carbon footprint. It's like, my footprint is pretty negligible, and all of ours is pretty negligible to compare to what these companies are doing. So don't try to make it like a moral failing on my part because the climate's going to shit.
Exactly. And then this is where I have respect for Greta, is because she lives what she says to do. So she won't fly anywhere. She gets boats everywhere. She gets the train. And she is at least trying to live the difference that she wants to see. So that's why I have respect for her, that she does stick to her guns, and she provides, like, even though I think it does lack nuance, but at least she's trying to put the point forward in a very difficult, complicated issue and trying to make it approachable for people. And aside from all of that, I think she's a really good role model for autistic people. To see a young autistic woman with all of like, she did a really good interview on one of our TV shows over here with Russell Howard. And then he was talking to her about, like, you've got such a big active life and you're around people all the time, but you're autistic. How the hell do you cope with that? And then she just kind of spoke about that in the interview and things. So I think, like, she deserves a lot of respect from people, more than she gets. And she certainly, like, Andrew Tate just showed how fucking pathetic of a human being and how benign his opinions are and what he thinks, and like how just literally pathetic. There's no other word. he's childish.
Yeah.
It was very low resolution thinking.
For high resolution output of that video, though.
Yeah.
Like the money he spent on producing that video and editing it and doing all those things and like, let's order some pizzas and where's my smoking jacket? Like just thousands of dollars spent to pretty much point to a teenager and say, I know you are, but what am I?
Yeah, basically. And like the funny thing is that Greta could easily do that herself too. Like she has legions of followers, more than he probably does. She could put out something like that, but it's just like, I'm just going to ignore it because he's not worth my time. That is the classy move. It's
also like what the parents used to tell their kids back in the day: if you ignore a bully, they'll go away.
Yeah, exactly.
And Tate is nothing if not a bully.
Yeah, totally. He always goes for people that he sees as easy targets. And this is the thing, like with his argumentation, like he's so intellectually dishonest, and that he just develops like a straw man argument for what, say, people like Greta are trying to say. And then he'll attack like a really irrelevant point of it and then get all his followers sharing his opinion. And it just brings their whole group down, that their IQ drops by 5 points every time he speaks.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So it's been a bit of a roller coaster in terms of my enjoyment of it, of the whole tweet debacle. But
no, you know what? You raise a valid point. You totally do. Much to my chagrin, you raise a valid point.
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, though, like the takeaway message is that he was essentially arguing with a 19-year-old, unprovoked. Like he attacked her for no reason. She might have had bad form, but on balance, like she at least lives by what she's teaching, and she seems to be a good, decent human being.
Yeah.
And he's just showing once again that he's a fucking man-child.
And you know what? Maybe it was his attempt at being relevant again, because I hadn't heard his name in a while, and now he's everywhere all over again. It's like, wasn't it Cher who said there's no such thing as bad publicity? Like, if they're talking about you, they're talking about you.
Yeah, exactly. At least you've heard of me.
Yeah, and here we are. Fucking sweet.
Although I think, we're mostly bigging up Greta and showing how dumb Tate is. And I don't think any of our followers are that interested in what Tate's got to say. Just some silly stuff with that chatbot. I thought we could ask it some dumb questions. But, I don't know if
well, let's ask it some dumb questions.
Oh,
okay,
right.
So tell us what it is we're looking at.
Okay, so this is called OpenAI. And it's got knowledge up until 2021. And it's supposed to be like chatting to a human being. I don't really know a huge amount of detail on it. But you're essentially supposed to be able to have a conversation with it. And it'll give you answers to things.
And are their answers audible, or do we have to read it?
I have to read it, yeah. I'll read it out for you. So, is there anything you want to ask it deep and meaningful?
I think we should go with the age-old question from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. What is the meaning of the life, the universe, everything?
Of life, the universe.
Everything.
Everything.
If it says 42, I'm going to be really happy. No, it's not.
Oh no, it's saying a lot.
It's saying a whole lot.
The meaning of life, the universe, and everything is a question that has puzzled philosophers, theologians, and scientists for centuries. It is a question that may never be fully answered, as it is ultimately a matter of personal belief and perspective. This is reading like a first-year undergraduate essay.
Yeah, this feels like a Wikipedia entry.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The correct answer is puppies.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people believe that the meaning of life is to be happy and to experience as much joy and fulfillment as possible. Others believe that the meaning of life is to contribute to the greater good of humanity, to make the world a better place for future generations. Still others believe that the meaning of life is to seek understanding and knowledge, to explore the mysteries of the universe and to find answers to life's big questions. The universe and everything in it, including the earth and all living things, are believed by some to be the result of a natural process of evolution and the laws of physics. Others believe that the universe and everything in it was created by a higher power or deity. Ultimately, the meaning of life, the universe, and everything may be different for each individual and may depend on one's personal beliefs, values, and experiences. That's a cop-out.
Long way to say, it's whatever you want it to be, bitch.
Yeah. Why can't it be all of the above? Let's ask it that.
Okay.
It's basically regurgitating the same answer in different words. Yeah,
don't worry about reading the other 3 paragraphs. This is the type of person you do not want to have a conversation with at a party.
It's like some of the TikTok commenters that you try arguing with, and they just send you around in loops.
That's why I miss Subservient Chicken.
What's that?
It was a website. You could probably still find screenshots of it, or maybe some YouTube clips of it. It was an ad, like a marketing campaign by Burger King, where if you went to the website subservientchicken.com, a person in a life-size chicken suit would perform the functions you said. So if you said dance the Macarena, the person in the chicken suit would dance a Macarena in a not amazingly well decorated living room. So you could make it do anything you wanted, and
cool.
It would do it. It wasn't cool. It was creepy as fuck because it wasn't like a cute chicken costume. It was
a scary chicken costume.
It was a creepy and they sometimes you would pop into the website and then the chicken wouldn't be there. Then you'd see them kind of walk in off camera, and then they just look and okay, moonwalk, and then they would start moonwalking, and it was just it was weird. It was a very creepy way to spend an evening, and then drift off to sleep with Subservient Chicken in your head.
Thinking about chickens.
Yeah, it's how you have nightmares about stuff like that. I found this post on Reddit that I then added to our You Can't Be That Dumb folder on our drive. And then to go with this post, which we'll have to take a look at now, I had to look for a picture of a cervix. And then I had dreamed that I had cervical cancer.
That is such a dark dream. How far did it go down? Not down the cervix. I mean, down. How far down the rabbit hole did your dream go?
It got to the point where I had to I got diagnosed, and then I was telling my family, and then I woke up
Jesus.
I was like, I gotta go for a pap smear soon.
Yeah. That's a warning sign.
Yeah.
Wow.
In my head for a few seconds, as I was in that first few moments of wakefulness, I was like, am I psychic, or is this because of what I was looking at yesterday?
Yeah.
That's probably what I was looking at yesterday. So this is our newest segment. We've already introduced you to What the Fuck is Wrong with You? This one is now You Can't Be That Dumb. So there's going to be You Can't Be That Dumb. Popped through my girl's cervical ring and made her yell. I was doing some full body weight deep thrusting, and I hit an angle just right, and my dick smashed right onto the donut of her cervix and pushed through. She yelled, but then clenched her legs around me, gritted her teeth, and her eyes rolled back from a super big orgasm. She said it was the most powerful she ever felt, like she was being electrocuted. The whole time her womb was spasming and clenching on my penis head. She said she will never go back to smaller guys because she will always want the deepest cervical orgasm. Now, sir, if you could go back a photo.
I feel a bit weirded out by that.
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable as well. So this now points for him getting the donut-esque shape correct. But let's look at the opening of he would have more luck getting his penis into her nostril than he would through her cervix. And this donut thinks that we're going to believe he made it through her cervical donut. Into her...
That would be serious damage. If he'd somehow managed to blast his way through, that is serious damage.
Yeah. During labor, obviously, the cervix dilates, but that's the body's natural function. You can't come at it with a penis from the other from the other direction.
When it's not primed to do so.
Correct.
Oh, that whole thing weirded me out. I'm gonna be honest.
It was very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I am 6 foot, and I sent my wife to the hospital because they said she had an ovarian cyst, and I popped them from going too deep. What? Let's just say, all the nurses that passed by the room either gave me a thumbs up or were flirting with me after they read the chart. What? So now. So now he clearly thinks that being 6 feet
Yeah.
has any bearing on his penis size whatsoever, which
Yeah.
we know it does not. His wife may have had ovarian cysts, and ovarian cysts have popped as a result of sex, not because, like he seems to believe, he poked it with the tip
Yeah.
of his penis.
Yeah.
And if your wife is in the hospital in what is likely debilitating pain, the nurses aren't flirting with you. They're not like,
No.
oh hey, wow.
They're not giving you a thumbs up either. Like,
Yeah, like it's gross. It's
Yeah.
gross.
I
Not
think
the
pictures
whole,
or
like,
it didn't happen. Fuck me.
Yeah, just like the whole failing to understand a female anatomy, but to think that other women would see that and be impressed by that somehow is really disgusting.
Yeah. And all
Like,
these...
okay, if a woman had posted, I was riding my boyfriend and I've been doing Kegels and I crushed his penis to the point where he had to go to the hospital and all the doctors were looking at me like, ooh, I want to get into that snippy snapper. Like, to see, like, that's got that same...
Yeah. Same
like, would he read that and be like, oh wow, like this woman's extra strong vaginal muscles just crush this guy's penis? That's hot. Like, is that what he would think?
I don't think so somehow.
Like, I get wanting to be a bit braggadocious, but
at least be realistic about it.
Yeah, and like clearly he thinks that women also don't understand female anatomy and things work, that a nurse is going to give you the heads up for, come on, like a thumbs up. You can't be that dumb. You can't.
Well, and they might
flirt with me. They flirted with you while your wife is in the hospital bed feet away.
Oh, do get me started about that. Fucking hell. The amount of guys that think a woman is flirting with them just because they're being nice and approachable.
My niece works in a bar, right? She serves food. It's like a restaurant / bar. And like the number of guys who the same, and it's not like she can just look at them and be like, bitch, I gotta be nice to you for tips, right?
Yeah.
It's especially like the number of guys who try to pick up bartenders and servers in restaurants. It's their job to be nice to you. It is their job to try to woo money out of your pocket because they're not getting paid amazingly and they need to rely on their tips. So of course you're going to be nice to you to get bigger tips. It doesn't mean she wants you to smack her ass or there's a guy at the bar my niece works at that they've named Tricky Ricky because there's Rick. They call him Tricky Ricky because he's always being like super creepy with the women. And like, it's because he's kind of this older guy who's come across as a bit harmless. They're like, oh, that's just Tricky Ricky, which then makes it okay, right?
That's
like
his
if
MO.
a young, but he may be harmless, but the guys who are watching him smack a server's ass or be really flirtatious with the server and not knowing that they're just like, he's a regular, it's fine, are learning from that behavior. And they're like, oh yeah, that's going to be okay to do.
Exactly. He just, it's wrong on all the levels.
Are you looking for fun new glasses that won't break the bank? Go to Zeelool.com. They have daily flash sales. You can find frames as low as $2. Prescription, non-prescription, sunglasses, they have it all. Use my promo code to save. So this one, a woman tweets, I wonder if people on the date in 1955 thought, OMG, this is OMG, this is the day Marty went back in time to. And then someone else responds, you read the responses. I'll be her, you be him. I wonder if on the date in 1955, people thought, OMG, this is the day Marty went back in time to.
No, they didn't. The movie didn't come out until 1989.
I know that it came out in 1989, not 1955, not 2015. I'm not stupid. I'm just saying, I wonder if a lot of people were talking about it back in 1955 like we are today.
Are you sure about that I'm not stupid part? They couldn't have known about Back to the Future in 1955.
You weren't there. You don't know. It didn't come out in 2015 and we're talking about it now. It's just as likely they were talking about it in 1955 too. The end. I love that this one was clearly written in 2015 and it has stood the test of time because I found it almost 8 years later.
Jesus Christ. Oh,
I mean, okay, I kind of get, because everyone has stupid moments, right? Like, we lost power once, and then I went out to the garage and tried to use the electric pad on the garage door to open it. And it took me a second to be like, oh, yeah, right.
But when it's pointed out, you realize.
Yes. everyone has the moment, and then after I stood there laughing at myself, I realized what I had done, and I came back inside. But like this, she's still like, even in the explanation of it, was still like, I get it.
Yeah.
But they knew.
Yeah. So, pants were invented for men, not women. It's impossible for a woman to wear pants, such as jeans, yoga pants, dress pants, leggings, dungarees, etc., without sexualizing her body, since they highlight her legs, curves, and rear end. Women who want to be modest should not own pants at all.
I worked with a woman who was a member of a religion that did not allow women to wear pants for this reason.
Yeah. It's in Islam, they have a thing where, but this applies to men and women, which people often misunderstand, but you shouldn't dress as if you're naked. But it's in Western Islam, or Muslims living in the West, it seems to be more up to the family and the individuals as to how they want to dress, but they'll follow the Quran where possible so that they don't dress as if they're naked. So they won't wear tight jeans, like really super tight. Men won't wear or shouldn't wear really tight tops, that show off their abs and their pecs and stuff.
My grandmother would wear, if she didn't wear pants for like the longest time. She always wore skirts. And then when she started to wear pants because it got cold, she would wear a skirt over her pants.
That's a bit trendy for some people, actually, isn't it? Like, it was a trend a while ago. Yeah.
My grandmother was a trendsetter. She was the first one to layer. She wore like 8 different sweaters to go to the doctor. She was a fashion maven.
But yeah, this particular tweet definitely lacks nuanced thinking, doesn't it? And the understanding that pants don't just come in skin-tight yoga pants style.
Well, he even says dress pants, and dress like jeans, yoga pants, I get leggings, I get. What are dungarees? Are those shorts?
Oh no, they're the things that they how to describe them. How do you describe dungarees? Kind of, but like usually in films, like rednecks wear them and stuff. But
we call those overalls.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Overalls to us are like boiler suits.
What the fuck is a boiler suit?
Like an all-in-one that you'd wear in like a workshop or an engineering or something, and it's like covers
like
all
Mike Myers.
Yeah, that's overalls to us.
We call those coveralls.
Oh.
And there's your 44 in one lesson for the day. So, like dungarees then and dress pants are typically not super tight. So this person is really like lumping in all those pants.
Yep. And jeans are like, no two styles are the same, really.
Yeah, there's tons of different types of jeans. I mean, yoga pants, I get it. Leggings, they're kind of the same, but jeans can come in wide leg, straight leg, boot cut, tight, skinny, like there's just all over the place.
Yeah.
But like, and this is what kills me, is that even when a woman is fully covered, right? Like if this woman was wearing a turtleneck and a pair of dress pants, he would still think she was being immodest because she's wearing pants. Like even though she's covered head to toe, it's still immodest. Like what a dangerous way to look at women, that no matter what they wear, unless it's a dress, and then I'm sure the dress has to be of a certain length in order to be modest, but then like, there's just no winning.
And you're not even allowed to own the pants if you want to be modest.
Correct.
Which we call trousers. We call them trousers over here.
We call them pants.
Pants.
Who calls them slacks? Is it men? Is it men's pants that are slacks?
I don't know. We don't really say that either. That's an American word.
Why is it pants, but not shirts?
What do you
because
mean?
It should be a pant, right? It's one article of clothing. It's a pant, just like a shirt is a shirt. If it's because it's got 2 legs, pants, then shirts have 2 arms, so it should be shirts.
Yeah, I've never understood that either. But also, pants to us is underwear.
So I was listening to an audiobook, and it was by a British author, and the woman had said, I got my husband to pack up some stuff for me. He packed up my pants, and then I think she said underwear, and then something else, and then trousers. Was my pants, my underwear, my trousers. So like, what's the difference? Because like trousers, I know is pants. When I heard pants and then underwear, I thought, oh, okay, she's got pants and underwear. But then she said trousers. So does underwear have a different meaning? Is it like leggings or tights or something?
underwear, I guess, is like all of the types of underclothes, like a bra, pants,
Mm.
like a G-string or a thong, maybe, you know.
For panties.
Yeah, your panties. So
In Portuguese, the word for underpants is
Mm.
cuecas, and it's my favorite Portuguese word ever because I think it's adorable. Cuecas.
What's the literal translation of it?
I think underpants. Let me double check. Panties. Although it says, okay, because then it's like the translation of it could be underpants, briefs,
Hmm.
and then but like the like Portuguese word, English word in the translation screen says cuecas equals panties, but then underneath it, it says it's also underpants because there's also different words for it. There's cuecas, calcinhas, roupa de baixo, which means underclothes.
Okay. I like it when like, one of my favorite languages to translate is German because they're so literal. Like was it gloves? I think hand shoes, like shoes to go on your hands.
Perfect sense.
Fliegermaus is a bat, but it's a flying mouse. Polar bear is ice bear, and it's literally ice bear. So they got loads like that.
I love that. Makes it so simple.
Yeah. But yeah, so this guy's dumb. Yeah, idiot man.
Okay, this is my favorite. So this guy sends a picture of a tiny piece of wood, and he tweets to Sonic, "Don't go to at Sonic. My girl just almost choked on a piece of wood from y'all's shitty corn dogs. Fuck y'all, she's pregnant." To which Sonic replied, "Corn dogs come on wooden sticks. Tell her to slow the fuck down when she's eating."
Oh wow. Oh,
this reminds me of when this happened just a few weeks ago. I think I told you about it. I had to take the dogs at lunch to get their nails trimmed, and then I had a meeting at like 1:00. So my lunch hour was spent with the dogs getting their nails done, and like we had to wait and whatever. So I was rushed. So as I was leaving PetSmart, I was like, holy fuck, I've got 8 minutes to like get home, microwave my lunch, eat my lunch before I have to be on camera for this meeting. So I was like, I'll just go to the burger place that's in the parking lot. I'll take it home, shove it in my face, and then I'll be ready for my meeting. And I was eating so fast to get to this meeting on time that I bit my own finger. That's what this reminds me of. Bit my own finger, and then all I heard in my head was that like little kid from that video years ago. Charlie bit my finger. That's all.
Yeah. It's still hurting now.
GVizzle bit my finger.
Ouch, GVizzle, ow.
Oh, mummy.
The best bit though is how indignant this guy is about it. Like, how dare you?
But like, where did he think the wood came from?
Yeah.
It's like there was another one. Someone was like, they couldn't believe there was a leaf in their burrito, and it was a bay leaf, which is what you use in cooking. And they were like, "There's a leaf." It's like, okay, I get you don't know how to cook, but at least Google some shit first.
Yeah, before you get all harassing people. Not to pull an unfair comparison, but ... violate age laws for sex equals criminal. Violate age laws for consumerism equals heroic. Kind of weird, inconsistent stance people have.
And then the response is not to pull an unfair comparison, makes the most outrageous and unreasonable comparison imaginable.
Yes, I agree with the responder.
Yeah, absolutely, 1,000%.
And he got 8 times more likes than the original commenter.
And like the original commenter got significant more comments to that. But you already know it's an unfair comparison, but how in the fuck, maybe this falls under a what the fuck is wrong with you? Do you think it's appropriate to put online in a public internet forum that violating age laws for sex equals criminal, which means to me, anyway, the way I read this is that he disagrees with that. He disagrees and thinks you should be able to violate age laws.
Well,
and like, what age laws for consumerism?
Or like smoking, drinking, watching certain movies.
But okay, but who violates those laws? Like stores are fined quite heavily if they sell cigarettes to underage people, or they sell alcohol to underage people. So it's not heroic where he's coming across.
But the
And some
consumer, the
kid sneaking
person
into an
doing
R-rated movie isn't heroic.
it. But kids getting a hold of alcohol before they're supposed to. You know, I think it's a ridiculous comparison. Like, he's kind of saying that, like, if people that violate age laws are heroic, then why can't I violate sex laws?
It's like that tweet when someone was like, if a 16-year-old is old enough to speak at the UN, then she should be old enough for me to have sex with. Like, that's someone did make that tweet.
It's fucked up. Really fucked
Yeah.
up. Oh, like, yeah, that guy's pulling the red flags there. I'd be worried about him.
Oh, yeah. We probably should blur his picture.
It's probably not even him anyway.
Probably not. The next one. Your orgasm is based on your pH balance, beloved. Majority of women are not on an alkaline diet, and their vagina is dysfunctional because of all the GMO and acidic food. That's not how women work.
No,
But that's not how. The evidence is that he's never been able to give a woman an orgasm, so he blames her diet instead of his performance.
Yeah. And they have to be on an alkaline diet specifically. I wonder why that is. I wonder what his reason is for that.
To balance out their pH.
Because women are so acidic and toxic.
But like the vagina is pretty much a self-cleaning pH balance. Like it's a wonder of anatomical science. Like it takes care of itself, which is why way back in the day when they had all those like douche commercials. Oh, Mom, I'm having that not so fresh feeling. It was quite dangerous actually because it was fucking with a woman's natural pH balance. Yeah. So now this super doctor, who's not a doctor, I've never made a woman come, so it must be because of your acidic food. Because you're eating tomato, you're eating bruschetta, and that's the reason.
And I wonder what he means by vagina here. Like, is he talking about the vaginal canal? And so therefore, is he talking about penetrative sex? Because, or orgasms from penetrative sex? Because a lot of women don't have orgasms through that.
That is correct. A lot of them require clitoral stimulation. Yeah. So, you know what I find the most I was going to say offensive, but I'm not that I'm offended. It's just, I feel like I've been poked.
Yeah, insulting maybe.
That is beloved. Yeah,
it's a bit degrading. And it's
not a fan of that. And there's something about anyone who uses that like shoulder shrug emoji that makes me want to just tweeze his nose hairs. Like
I was thinking of the guy in the show you were making me watch. And he has that guy and he's like squeezing people in the distance. He's like
Kids in the Hall.
Yeah, Kids in the Hall, yeah. And then like I want to do that to people like him because I'm like, oh, you fucking small insignificant shit. I want to squash you.
Yeah, there's something about the shoulder shrug emoji that just drives me fucking bananas.
It's so dismissive, like, oh, these are just facts. I don't care about your feelings type thing when he's not actually spouting any facts. It's like, if you had facts, but you don't have any.
I just can't.
How do I stop my husband from going goblin mode during sex? I think you're going to have to read it. I don't
Oh my God. My husband says, quote, goblin mode activated, end quote, when we start to have sex. He growls and acts like a caveman and then says goblin mode off when we stop and then pretends to not know what I'm talking about when I ask him about it. I mean, I'm not usually one for withholding, but this bitch needs to withhold until like almost as soon as he says goblin mode activated, she just needs to like stop.
Yeah. Get out from under it.
Here. Yeah, we're done here. I don't even know what to say about that. Like I do.
I feel that like it's kind of weird how he clearly has the audacity or the confidence or whatever it is to activate goblin mode in the moment. But he does. He doesn't have the adult capability of talking about his needs and desires in the bedroom with his partner.
Yeah,
so he'll just do it.
Yeah, like, what are you talking about? I don't know. I don't understand what you're talking about.
Mm.
How do you, like, I think she needs to record him to be like, see, here's what you did.
Yeah.
Or maybe she needs to, like, amp it up. When he says goblin mode activated, she just, like a woolly mammoth, just smacks him across.
Yeah.
Pounces on his chest and starts like.
And she just like just take a big shit on his chest and see what he does.
Yeah, she needs to amp it up, and then when he mentions it, she's like, "What are you talking? What?"
Yeah. Like, start treating him like a goblin.
I just I wonder if it's all. I have so many questions.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if it's always been, because I feel like if they were dating, right? Like, if the first time I was intimate with somebody, they activated goblin mode, I'd be like, okay, good luck with your future endeavors. We're not compatible.
Yeah.
Like, did he wait until they were married to activate goblin mode? Has he always done it? I don't.
And did it like just happen one day? Like, he just got overcame with lust and total disinhibition and just went goblin mode activated and just, I'm gonna be my true self.
I don't know. I wonder what the trigger of it was. Like, after watching Lord of the Rings, he was like, man, that Gollum, he's he's what all the girls want.
Or did you watch Harry Potter with the goblin, the house elves, and then the goblins in the bank?
Dobby would never. Never.
Oh man. And obviously I'm aware that the last few examples we gave are not goblins, but people get the point.
Yeah, but she also says he goblin mode activated.
Yeah.
And then acts like a caveman.
Yeah.
So
yeah. That's very weird. And then why does he say goblin mode off? Like, yeah, he has to announce it so that everybody knows.
Is that when he finishes, like, goblin mode off?
Yeah.
I just don't. Shit. I couldn't. How do I stop my husband? No. You tase him.
Yeah.
Oh, that poor dear.
Sneak Lupron into his dinner.
What is that?
Oh, that's the thing they give to sex offenders to kill their sex drive and their testosterone.
Please note.
That wasn't serious advice, people.
We do not condone drugging people. Bad advice. My husband is divorcing me because I cheated. Can I get half of what he owns without also the kids? I want to have fun with the money, and I think the kids would take too much of my time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did my mum write that?
That's pretty cold.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I have like no words for that.
I think if you cheated on your husband, I don't think you get half of his stuff, actually, I'm afraid. So
depends. You might.
It depends why she cheated, I guess.
It also depends, like, I think, well, no, because alimony and child support would be different. So it could depend. I mean, he could certainly fight it. She likely won't get half. She might get something depending on what her financial situation is. But the fact that she's like, I don't want the kids, I'm out.
And I think,
fucked up.
Yeah, and I think courts are quite good sometimes at weighing that stuff up. Like, you don't even want your kids, then you're clearly a bad person. And
yeah, you're not getting shit. You cheated on him, and then you don't want your children. You just want to like start your life from scratch all over again. You're not getting anything.
Yeah.
And for those of you who cannot see the screenshot, somebody had posted The Lion, the Witch, and the audacity of this bitch, and I love that.
Yeah. See, women can have audacity too. It just presents.
Oh, wait till the
next
one.
with
a straight face. Oh, sorry, you had.
Okay.
You want to read?
With a straight face, my neighbour asked me not to do yard work when her boyfriend is outside. So yes, I think they're in a healthy relationship.
Yeah, up until now, a lot of our "what the fuck is wrong with you" have been things written by men, but yeah,
Yeah.
women.
Oh wow.
We're better than this. We're better than this.
Like very extreme groups of like extreme right Christians and other groups like that are trying to say that masturbation is homosexual behavior and that you shouldn't do it. Yeah.
Oh, they just want to take away everything that makes people feel good.
It's the most fun I have on my own.
But it's just so repressive and so like, mind your own fucking business, right? What somebody does in the privacy of their own bedroom, as long as they're not hurting themselves or anybody else, stay out of it. It's none of your fucking concern.
Yeah. I don't remember, like, I think I might have said this before, but like, I remember being at school, and because we were at Catholic school and we hadn't had sex education or anything like that. And I was the first person in my little group of friends to start masturbating. And so I was excitedly telling my mates at school, like, do you know what we can do? It's amazing. Yeah. It's like, yeah. And it's like, and then because I didn't even really understand it at the time, because like we hadn't had this talk at school or from parents or anything. I just know that this thing felt amazing. And then they were like, oh, that's gross, that's gay, and all these other things. I'm like, I don't care, it feels good. Think of me what you want. And then by the time we'd all finished school, everyone in the group was doing it. So
they were.
Who the fuck was right, hey?
You were a trendsetter.
I was. Oh, what a trend to set.
What a trend.
And like the other thing is, like, aside from all the ridiculousness of it, it's so harmful as well to think like, well, I don't want to be gay. I don't want people to think I'm gay because being gay is wrong and bad.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being gay.
Yeah, like,
but clearly they think it is. Clearly they're raging homophobes, and that these same men would be walking around a grocery store, seeing other men using reusable bags, and be like, he's gay.
Yeah. Insert slur here.
Yeah. I can't imagine going through life being so concerned about what other people are thinking and the sex lives of other people. Like, this just an unhealthy preoccupation with something that A, nobody cares about, and B, is none of your business.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I just
like when I'm at the grocery store and if I have forgotten my reusable bags, I will do my best to not, like, I will cram as much into bags, or I will whatever. But like, if I see people who intentionally, like, you go to the grocery store at the same time every week, you kind of see the same people that like they never have reusable bags. Eventually, it'd be like, holy, for fuck's sake, man, just like invest the quarter and get a bag. Like, what do you do with all this shit?
Especially when you have to like pay for those plastic bags now. You know,
yeah, and now like I said, fewer retailers, and I think most of them have to be. I think there's a deadline for it, but like at our Walmarts and some grocery stores, there are no bags to be had. If you need to carry shit out, you're buying a bag because they're not going to offer them to you. But then I see some people like in the produce department, because produce will still have the plastic bags to put your produce in, and they'll like walk out with their groceries, tiny little produce bags.
And they think they're being defiant and making a statement.
Yeah. I mean, I still put my produce in those bags because then I use them for poo bags. Not for my poo, for the dog's poo.
Oh, I was getting excited for my next parcel then.
Just need to make that clear. I don't save my poop.
Nurse who set off fire alarm to see colleague's breasts bounce as she ran down the corridor as facing the end of his career. Good. That's in the UK, was it?
Yeah. Do your best to clear it to like... Let's blur his face if we can. Set up a fire alarm. Like, that will get you charged in most places.
Yeah.
To see a colleague's breast bounce. This is a grown man. Like, that's something that, like, I think third graders joke about doing in school because they want to see their teachers.
Yeah.
Not a full adult who put his entire career on the line to see bouncy boobies.
Yeah, because
he still calls them boobies. He still calls them boobies.
Boobies go bouncy.
And he's wearing a wedding ring.
Oh my God, his wife.
That's the thing about the like. I get like. I think this is the problem I have with stuff like this, with like showing his photo. Like, yes, people need to know,
Mm.
but do they need to know? Because it's not like it just affects him, right? Like, so now his wife's friends are at work flipping through the newspaper, seeing a picture of her husband, and it's not like that just ends with him losing his job. It's now his wife is now being impacted. If they have children at school, the kids are like, "Your dad's a pervert. Look what your dad did." Like, it's just. I think the punishment needs to fit the crime. In this case, losing his job is, but like his wife and children, if they have children, are being punished for a crime he committed. Which, I mean, crime, I use that, whatever. But I don't know. I just don't like it.
Probably is a crime to some extent. Like, or this
It is
the potential, because it'd be sexual harassment, isn't it?
It would be, right, and like the fire alarm is, but like him losing his job would be the direct, like an appropriate punishment for that.
Yeah.
But it's not like his wife's colleagues are going to see that and not mention it, right?
Yeah.
Some dick in the office is going to be like, "Is this your fucking husband?" And she's like, yeah. Yes, he is. Like, I just don't think she needs to suffer because her husband's an idiot.
Yeah, there are, dictatorships throughout history where families get tried for the crime of their family
Sins
member
of
did.
the father type thing.
Yeah, and it is a bit unfair, particularly like the kids. I mean, the kids will get it the worst. Playground stuff.
Oh yeah.
My God, can you imagine? Fucking hell.
Fucking hell. Fade to black. Fucking hell.